For access to SPSS off campus, our preferred method is for you to use the Wabash virtual desktops from the My Bash page, wabash.edu/mybash. You should see a link on the left-hand side where it says Virtual Computer Lab. If you click on that, it'll take you to the VMware Horizon landing page, where you can either install the desktop client, VMware Horizon client downloadable, or you can use the HTML access. You can also get to the virtual lab page directly by just using this link, virtual lab, all one word, .wabash.edu. Here we're going to use the HTML version, which will load the virtual desktop in the web page. You simply log in using your Wabash credentials. And once you've logged in, you would select, you may have more options here, but you would select one of the virtual machines. Then it should log you directly into that virtual machine. And it can take a little bit, depending on, actually, I'm not sure what the factors are, but it can take a little while to load. And overall, the experience should be similar to logging into one of the computers in the library. So once the virtual machine has logged in, you should see a desktop that, again, looks something like if you logged into one of the computers in our library computer labs. Then you can launch SPSS by clicking on the Windows button here. Notice I have two. This is the one at the bottom that is my actual computer. And the one above here is the virtual machine. So I'm going to go to IBM SPSS Statistics and click IBM SPSS Statistics 24, I think, whatever that number was. And again, this will take a minute or two. So if you have a good internet connection, it would make sense to go ahead and start SPSS and get your virtual desktop set up before you would start an exam. The virtual machines, like our lab machines, are frozen. So you will want to save your work in a safe place and make sure to save your work often. Because if you lose your internet connection, the virtual machine will shut down and your work will be lost. Okay, so here, I'm going to just close the quick start window. But SPSS is loaded, so we're in good shape. If I wanted to now open a data set, going to open in data, what I will find is that this virtual machine really it has really nothing on it. So much like a lab computer, this machine doesn't have access directly to my files on my local computer. With the downloadable version, you can kind of play some games to give it access. But here, the easiest way, honestly, oh, and now it's hidden, sorry. Okay. I'm going to shrink this. The easiest way to give yourself access to, that one's fine. Yeah. So you can play games. Honestly, I would really suggest that what you do is take advantage of the fact that we use Box very heavily for all of our work at the college. So I would highly recommend that the easiest way to give yourself access to your files is to put anything you want to work with into Box, to your Box account. Okay, so we're good. And I keep most of my work files in this folder that I call Torbert N. And I had put some data here in another tutorial. That's when I downloaded from the Psychology Seniors page. So, but now that I've logged into Box, if I've saved my data into my Box account, the data I want to work with, now if I go back to SPSS and go to Open Data, I'll see that in that folder, Torbert N, I have the data set that I had downloaded. So if I just open that, then I can go ahead and start working on my analysis in the same way I would, if I was at one of the Wabash labs. Again, I recommend saving your work. Box is a great place because even if this virtual machine were to shut down, then I can recover all of that work. You can save, so if you do an analysis, like if you were just originally trying to visualize for this data set, what was the average extroversion score for each of the drug doses? Could use an error bar plot and put dose as my category axis, extroversion as my dependent variable, and then not really do anything else fancy. And then, yeah, I have a very, very nice graph. So then if I wanted to save this, I could save the SPSS output file directly. I would recommend, once you feel like you're done with your analysis, to save it as a PDF by using print and print to a PDF. And then again, save that in Box. So and today's the 19th. And then that's kind of nice because then you can open that on any machine that can look at PDFs. You don't need to use SPSS. Whereas if you just save this SPSS as an SPSS file, then it's much harder to work with if you're not on a machine that has SPSS. So otherwise, then you should be good. Once you're done, you can close. If you don't want to save your output, that's fine. And it didn't ask about the data because we didn't make any changes. And then you can just shut down. And you should be good. All right. Otherwise, do let us know if you run any problems, and I hope that is helpful.